do is open this top hand, yeah? Inch. Then from here, your hands are going to cross in the middle, bring the open hand on the inside, and then the other arm slowly up. Knee. Right, a slight angle, so your fist is higher than your elbow. It's not horizontal, fist higher than your elbow. You are looking underneath your forearm, and your shoulder is relaxed. So keep that lat tight, yeah? So on the first count, just open it. Then open the hand on the inside, cross, rotate, and block up. Knee. Yeah, very good. Open it. Cross and change. Knee. Open it. Cross and change. Knee. Good. Okay, so we'll start doing that by one count here. It's fairly simple. So like start with this opening, then try and feel everything moving together. Yes. Don't let this hand come back, then the other one goes up. High grades, two ways of using your hips on the agu here. So either this feeling of just allowing that arm to start, then at the end of the movement, that strong single rotation, or feel that compression at the start of the single hip movement, all the way through. Your choice. Try both, see which one you prefer. Make sure you're able to do both. Yeah? So smoothly up. Inch. And try not to make this like a jerk. Just open it up. Knee. Remember, no matter what you do with your hips, like make sure your knees aren't collapsing as you rotate. Make sure your head is changing, looking at the corner of your eye. Yeah? So make sure you're able to use different parts of your body independently as well as at the same time. So though you are pushing through that leg, you're not allowing your knees to collapse. Yeah, smooth. Up. Good. Shoulder relaxed. Yeah. Don't allow this elbow to be outside your body. Try and make sure this hip, shoulder, elbow on that straight line. Chin. Okay, quick. Yeah. So like I say, this preparation, don't let it be a jerk, like no unnecessary movement. Just open, cross, and change. Yeah. Make sure this line, again, I know these are basic points, yeah, but it's always good to be reminded. Make sure this arm is not coming from the outside. Yeah. Imagine that straight punch coming towards your face, lifting it, yeah, or treating it as like an arm bar or something like that. But regardless, you want to make sure it is going up in front. Yeah. Ready? Punch. Knee. Ha. So hand in front, go straight forward. Hand to side to side. Inch. When this hand comes up, again, don't allow the shoulder to come high. Like you'll see some people prepare so tricky by bringing his hand right back and getting this stretch. Like it will make the movement stronger, because of course it's bigger. But again, this is like if you're thinking basic Kihon, if someone's stepping in with that basic Oizuki, by the time you brought that hand all the way back, there's a very good chance they've already hit. Yeah, this is enough. Yeah, then think about that rotation, that pectoral squeeze, which will generate enough power to knock that punch sideways. Yeah, but don't bring it back. Sideways is enough. G. Good. Make sure this arm, so for instance here, if I'm blocking with my right hand, I don't want it to finish on the right side of my body. Yeah, again, if you're thinking about that straight punch coming in, this isn't covering everything. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I just want to sort of like bend this arm or shift this arm across. I want to cover by pushing that side of the body forward. Yeah, not this, not this. Cover. Edge. Knee. I don't even know this is like a deliberate movement. Like no jerkiness, no stop, yeah. Just smooth. Up it. Knee. Again, like if I exaggerate, pushing through that leg here. Don't let that knee collapse, but make sure you are using that side of the body to come round. Tap. Good. Chin. Yeah, almost like you're skimming a stone, yeah? That feeling with this body coming round. Look. Itch. Knee. Itch. Knee. Good. As this hand goes up, don't allow it to come out close, yeah? Like it's cutting up. Direct route. So if I feel my core squeeze, my pec squeeze, it brings that hand in. Then it's just a little bit more movement of the arm to get it where it needs to be. Elbows touching, not shoulders up. Relax. Inch. And then I'm going to open into the block. Knee. Last one. Inch. Knee. Good. And then by one count. And high grades, this is now the same timing as we had with the agu here. So your choice, either the arm and then that single rotation, or that smooth, continuous movement. Yeah, I don't mind which. Some organizations, some styles practice one or the other, or both. Again, as long as you're able to understand both and do both, I don't mind which one you choose. Yeah. So lightly up and down. When Joe steps forward and punches me in the head, what I don't want to see is this falling and then coming up here, guys. As we've said before, if Joe sort of steps forward and I'm leaning back, and he steps forward and I'm leaning back, eventually I'm going to go over. Yeah, Joe will always be in a position where he can step forward faster than I can step backwards. So the thing should be, even though I'm going backwards, I should be projecting that side forwards. Yeah. So I'm dropping, my leg is going back, but my weight is going in. Yeah, we talk about this in catches like Kihon, but we talk about it in Kihon catches all the time. Yeah, when you step into that back stance, you want your weight where it wants to be. Kihon, you want to keep that weight forward. So as Joe comes, my weight is staying in. This full rotation, then I have that full rotation to make the punch here. So I'm not leaning or anything like that. Full body back, full body in. Yeah. And of course, that's the same thing with all of them. So I'm not starting with the back, I'm not allowing my toes to lift. I'm dropping it, yeah? And then count with the Soto. Again, we've made this point many times before. Here, as we said earlier on, it's not coming down. Obviously, we can block like this. This is not the block we're doing, yeah? So I want to think hip, upper body, arm, rotating. If not, going slightly forward, yeah? Like I said, skimming that stone, cutting across in, yeah? So again, I'm projected forward, not necessarily round, forward, and then counter, yeah? With the Gidan, and like maybe it feels slightly awkward because not done so much in this way against a straight punch, like often we do it going to the side against the kick. What's really important is the line, yeah? So for instance, if I allow this to sort of like hook out and then hook forward again, there's a chance Joe's punch is going to get in here. So like we said, I've got to think about that pec squeeze, that core squeeze. So this is compact, and then I'm opening, yeah? So I'm covering the entirety, yeah? And again, I have this full rotation to drive back in. Okay. Any questions? Sweet, thank you, Joe. Okay, so when I am blocking, like everyone is using their hip nicely, yeah? But very few of you, where you are using your hip, you're actually not thinking about your leg, yeah? And don't like, again, that may be the instruction, because I often say like, rotate in, rotate your hip, use your hip, but like you should still be driving that back leg in, particularly with this basic kumite, think that heel floor connection, glutes, and then get that full body in, yeah? And as we were talking about the other day, like you can also be thinking about that core squeeze, like that pec squeeze. So suddenly that goes from an arm movement to an arm and a hip movement to an arm and a leg movement to a whole body movement. Yeah, like power equals speed squared times mass. So I need to like increase that mass as much as possible for maximum effect. Yeah, so we work on that. We are close. Yeah, so I'm using the preparation now as a block. As we've discussed before with the hook, like I am strong enough that I can stop, well, due to my like being bigger than Joe, I'm strong enough to be able to stop this with my arm. If I was with Jason or Ren or Dave, like there's a very good chance I'd have to cover up. Like I'd still get the impact, but at least I'd be protected. Not this, where I'd knock myself out, but here. Or I could, of course, as we've discussed before, attack this joint between the shoulder and the chest and stop the hook at its source, but you've got to be like quick for that, yeah? You can calm down, but again, if I'm not big enough, if I'm not strong enough to do it, there's a very good chance that will happen and it will keep going forth. If I aim towards the elbow, there's a good chance it's just going to keep going. So like, if you are strong enough to do this, fine. If you're not confident, this. If you wish to try, this, yeah? And then we're using the block coming round, yeah? This is an elbow strike. This is very vulnerable. This is very heavy. Maximum control, okay? Okay, so same count, same attack, same starts. Like this one's a little less realistic because by the time I have done this and I've done this, that is happening here, guys. But it's a good thing to be able to know So like that is coming. On the second count, all I want you to do, I'm going to bring Joe's hand round so his palm is facing the ceiling. If his palm is facing the floor, that's just going to bend. Yeah. So I want palm facing the ceiling. My left wrist is caught his right wrist, and I'm just going to start my arm low. Then on the third count, again, I'm not just going to push my arm forward. I'm going to lift. Okay. We're trying to turn away because, again, like for those of you who have done security work or anything, God forbid you ever get in a fight, you are not always in control. Yeah, you don't. As we were saying the other week, they're not going to fight the way you want them to fight. Yeah, people rarely do. So we're going to be here. Joe's just going to lash out, and we're just going to turn. Okay. From there. Yeah. So again, Joe is approached, or maybe he's caught. Yeah, he's caught because again, this is very common where they catch and swing. Yeah. So maybe it's Joe's come up to me. He's here. So I'm just turning. Yeah. Straight away, what this means is even if Joe gets that right hook off, like even if it hits, it's going to be a lot less. Yeah, because he's fighting against himself. So he's caught. I'm turning in. Of course, I could just hit. Yeah. But to keep it a bit more like the block, obviously very slowly, very carefully. On. Okay, and again, this is a really nice control point. If Joe has any mates, of course, I now have Joe himself as my feint. If Joe tries to attack, but I can just keep that pressure on. I can push away. I have that threat of if you get anywhere near me, but I'm just gonna. Okay, so yeah, maybe we'll do this because we've not done this before, you guys. So we're going to start side on. On the first count, Joe is just going to catch, yeah? And I am going to turn into it and catch, yeah? Joe has caught, I turn and catch. Joe has caught, I turn and catch. So move. Body. Okay, over there. Hey, Joe. So this time, Joe is going to throw a straight right, yeah? And I'm just going to cover across. From here, I'm going to hit. Again, we've done this one before, you guys. From here, on. Okay? So as that straight right comes, I'm just covering in punches. Yeah? My right hand is catching close. My left hand is striking. And on. Then I'm using my body as the point of leverage. Yeah. Thank you. Again, we will talk through these as we go along. So bow.